swim, weather is rough, but that is UK kiting. I'm out here testing the new Ozone VT Ultra X edition. Out of the bag, she's a beauty. We've all got different tastes, want different things out of a kite, but you know when you've got a good kite in your hands because it just doesn't falter. And that's what Ozone have done here in this kite, is they've really refined it, and some of their kites have always stood out, like the Rio as being something that's a benchmark in the industry for stability. This is a new one. This Ultra X is an absolute belter. Haven't had a chance yet to try the standard one, but the VT, they've clearly put a lot of work into it. So first thing I noticed when I put it up, before we have a look at the construction and the design of it, is how it's lighter on the bar. One thing Ozone have always kind of done is make sure you've got really good feedback through your lines. And when they're designing kites, you can send the power down the front, they can send it through the pack. What's important with Ozone kites, what they've always done is give you that sensation through the back lines. There's always a bit of a trade-off with that, or generally, in that your bar pressure is a little bit heavier, and it's something Ozone get criticised on in the past. Not everybody wants that heavy bar pressure, but first thing you notice, it's got a really light bar pressure, but they're not sending the power down through the front line, so it's still an Ozone sensation and an Ozone feel, but just a lot softer and a lot lighter and a lot more comfortable to ride. Been out here today, pretty good test conditions, in that it's a classic UK day. We've had every season, I've had 10 to 15 knots, it's cranked up through to about 15, 20, some odd gusts of 25, so I've got to feel its full range. I'll try to put it through its paces a little bit more, but it's a good chance to feel its bottom end and its top end. And through that bar pressure, sometimes when you've got a kite that's kind of soft on the back, as you get more matched, it gets more loaded and it kind of changes its feel as you're more powered up. This thing doesn't. It's super refined the whole way through its range. It's a high aspect ratio kite, so it's definitely not the most grunty kite when you're using it, but that's its design. This kite's designed for somebody that wants to go fast, that knows what they're doing, that's already can kite and is looking for more performance out of their kite. The Edge, the VT, so the latest version of it, it's quite different, and a lot of people are going to ask, is it different from the last ones? If we're honest, there wasn't a huge amount of changes between the previous versions, and there's been quite a big gap between the last version and this new one, and it's pretty obvious Ozone have kind of held back. They've looked at it, they've worked on it quite a lot. They've put some of the design features of their other new models like the Vortex and the Enduro, and they've put their design features into that. So if we have a look at it, I've been running it on a 45 centimeter bar, 23 meter lines, which is kind of stock. Some people might want a longer bar, make it turn a bit faster, but the turn speed's quick on it, really quick. Point on that, previous models, they were quick turning as they came through the versions, but they'd maybe flutter a little bit through the wingtip, especially if you were depowered. This new one holds its tension. So it's a similar but slightly different shape through the wingtip here. It's a little bit more swept, I'd say, and there's a little bit more rigidity to this kind of material. I can't remember what it's called, but this stiffer sort of SLS material at the back here. It's got battens through the back, and there's a lot of tension through the back here, which means when you crank it and you turn it hard, it doesn't flutter and it holds a lot of pressure. It's got the, I think it's a 16-point bridle system, for which they introduced for the Vortex, which runs all the way through. Gives it a lot more stability, a lot more canopy tension. They've got this curved panel along the leading edge, which helps to do that. And it's a real standout feature with this kite, how its frame is rigid in the sky, but its canopy is really taut too. And what that means is, as you're throwing it around the sky, a tight canopy and a tight kite equates to predictable feeling. You can really feel what it's doing in the sky. So they've put a lot of work into this. They've put a lot of features which they've been working on into this new one. And if you're the kind of rider that can ride and you're looking for performance, you've maybe liked the Edge, but maybe it's been a little bit heavy on the bar pressure, maybe it's been a little bit twitchy, a bit shaky. Not anymore. This thing stands out as being something that's super fun. So it's definitely a step up from previous. Where does it sit in their range now, in my opinion? People are going to say Enduro, Edge or Vortex, they're all performance kites. They all have an Ultra X version, which is the higher price tag, higher quality, higher performance. Enduro is clearly a kite which is designed to go everywhere, do a bit of everything. It compromises in each field, but it can do everything, and it's got more of a focus on freestyle. It can kite loop really well. The Vortex, this is a new school kite. It sends fast, it jumps really quick, it loops really well, it's very explosive to ride. Where this slots in is kind of somewhere in between, which is, a lot of brands don't think there is an in-between spot, and I'd maybe question, don't you either want a big air kite or you want an all-rounder or a freestyle kite? But what this is really fun at is hacking along really fast, sending it up, floating through the air, whipping a kite loop or a down loop if you want to, and knowing that you kind of can't make a mistake with it. The Enduro, those big square tips, when you turn it, it creates a lot of power. The Vortex, because it's so fast, you can over send it, and the power maybe spikes in quite quickly, and if you don't want that or you're not used to it, you're not maybe going to enjoy it. But the Edge here, you kind of always comfortable, the power oozes on and then it eases off. The jumps, you can't really over send it, it feels comfortable, it's always recoverable in the sky, it's always got tension, and when you do loop it, it powers through the loop, and maybe unlike previous versions which would haul you but they wouldn't catch you unless you were absolutely maxed, this one, as long as you get your timing right and you don't loop it too early, it does catch you, it does retension, and you can reset it for a landing. So this is the kite for a lot of people, to be honest. Your big air riders, but not your elite big air riders, or your people aspiring to hack around the bay super fast. I'd highly recommend it. Personally, wasn't sure about the Edge for the last couple of years, who it was exactly aimed at, but I feel now the upgrades that they've put in this new VT means that I'd highly recommend this for the kind of person that just wants to send it without too much stress. Check it out, give us a shout. I'm Chris, PoseidonWatersports.com, if you want one, if you want any more info.